I'm filming this right now on my little Panasonic camcorder. The camera that I bought to see if even making vlogs was something I wanted to do rather than something that was consuming my brain. This little guy here allowed me to make the first couple of movies and sort of spawn into what's become this weekly endeavour of mine. I want to roll through some of the equipment that I've bought and some of the things that I've learned through the time I've been doing this. So the Nikon A900, much better picture quality, not so great on the sound. This is the camera that I bought recently to try to improve my vlogs. It is a little point and shoot camera and allows me to sort of dip into those little areas that I can't get to with a bigger camera. You may have seen in my previous videos I had a DJI Osmo, which was a gimbal camera. I've since sold that for the next upgrade. So this is the new Canon 600D. Currently has the kit lens and no external microphone. I am going to both change the lens and put an external microphone. That's the camera trying to focus. So let's go ahead and pop this external microphone on. So that improves the sound quality a lot. If you can hear over that lens, we're not picking up the air conditioner or anything anymore. The sound's a lot crisper. That lens sound is just unacceptable. So let's go ahead and pop this lens on. So that's it, guys. New 650D Canon camera. This is my progression with these videos in the quest to make better quality footage and do everything I can to try and remove the weakest link, which is me, of course. I want to give you guys a quick tour of my new office. So over the past week, I've repainted this wall and made these two shelving units. I do have a picture that will go up in the middle there. Relocated my desk so I can film at it. So I did say in a previous video that I really felt like I was having trouble being creative here. And it's one of those things that you don't notice when you're busy. But doing these vlogs really gives me a chance to go back and review the things I do and see and say and really hold myself accountable for what I do and the space that I live in. From my own vlog, I actually took that on board and went out of my way to create a space that I wanted to spend time in. And guys, this is a really nice space now. Just like that, rustic display shelf. I went ahead and grabbed this desk planner and just sort of go ahead and write out a guide for what I want this coming year to look like. May not be super interesting to a lot of you. If you do anything that requires you to obtain a goal, write yourself a map. I always like the analogy of the GPS. You put in your destination and there's a series of steps or streets you have to turn down to get to that destination. You can't just jump in your car and drive randomly and expect to get to where you want to go. So make sure you plan your goals and plan them to a date. A couple of personal things that I put on my year-long roadmap were to study 1 day a week, and initially for January at least I'm going to study filmmaking with the intent to make these productions much better, A, for me to make and understand that process, and B, of course, for you guys to watch and hopefully enjoy a little more. I have a middle of February target of 100 subscribers for this channel, and then the other goal I have for this channel is in June, in the middle of the year, to reach 1,000 subscribers. And my goal for doing that, of course, will come from improving the quality of these videos. So the goals that I'm going to achieve in this year coming, I've written down on my downstairs whiteboard. So let's head on down there and I'll show you guys what I'm going to achieve this year. So here's my little downstairs whiteboard just outside of my toilet so I can see my goals numerous times a day. For AT performance, my main goal is to reduce the wait time. So at the moment when you guys purchase from me, the wait time can be up to 4 weeks. And I am not okay with that. I'm really working hard to try and refine my processes, make the whole experience more streamlined, more attractive. So the way I plan to achieve that is to have a 48-hour turnaround on my orders, keep 2 of everything in stock at all times, and ultimately get some help around the shop. So get an employee or outsource some more work or do something in that regard. But that's definitely the goal for AT Performance this year. So my personal goals here, I have some gym goals that I'd like to achieve. So I'd like to get back into powerlifting and get back to the weights I used to be able to lift. I'd like to hike on a more serious scale and also meet some hiking people to go hiking with. I'd like to be able to run 5 consecutive kilometres. At the moment, I can run about 500 metres. I'm extremely unfit. I am actually trying to run. I don't believe that January 1st is the time to set a goal. If you want to do something, start now. And later in this video, I'll tell you guys my steps that I've taken so far to start to facilitate that to be part of my life. And also I'd like to travel more this year and not necessarily big overseas trips. I've moved to Queensland 2 years ago and I'd like to just explore that more. So I travel around, see things and get to know this place. And then middle of the road goals is to study filmmaking. So I want to learn how to produce better videos, even movies, things like that. Not big blockbuster movies. I more mean little movies around my shop that are entertaining to watch. And I'd like to do some classes on speaking. So doing something like improv or Toastmasters, getting some sort of training to learn how to speak to the camera better. I don't know why I emphasize speak so much when I say that. And in studying filmmaking, I want to learn how to use a camera, tell a story, plan films, and shoot better B-roll footage. So that's what I'm going to achieve this year. A lot of this I'll achieve very quickly this year. So for someone like me who's a self-confessed personal development nerd, I've got a little tip for people who are embarking on their New Year's resolution journey that I'd really like to share with you guys. Basically, people make their goals too big. For me personally, so I want to be able to run 5Ks. At the moment, I can't run 500 metres. And the goal I set for myself is not to go out and run 5Ks every day. It will just lead to disappointment. So you want to plan your goals in a way that creates success. Success leads to more success and so on and so on. And if you have some success in one area of your life, it quickly snowballs into other successes in other areas of your life. So for me, with my running goal, my ultimate goal is to run 5Ks, but I'm not concerned with that right now. My goal right now is to put my running shoes on in the morning and stand outside my house. That's it. If I can get my running shoes on or my running clothes on and get outside my front door, that's a win. I've succeeded for the day. I can turn around, go back inside, and I have reached my goal for the day. Might sound a bit silly. Nowhere is it setting me up for failure, and success leads to more success. So eventually, with me being satisfied with just putting my shoes on and getting outside my door, I'm going to start to think, well, I might walk around the block or I might run around the block. And eventually, I'm going to have success after success with just the mere fact of putting my shoes on and getting to my front door. Eventually, those little steps are going to become a habit. And then once a habit is ingrained in your life, it's just what you do. And instantly, you've succeeded in whatever the goal is. So just a couple of little things that I've used and I do use when I set goals and want to achieve goals. Not to go full force into the end goal, but what can I do today to create the habits to get the desired end result? And that's the type of things that'll make the changes last, and we can all just live better lives, which is all I really want for anybody. I hope those little tips are helpful. This was very much just a talking head video. I'm going to end on this very powerful clip about mindset, and I'll see you in the next one.
There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence, But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again, because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly.